بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Just to be quick, inshallah. One day when Umar radiallahu anhu, Amir al-Mu'mineen, the Khalifa of the Muslim Ummah, he received word from the Sahaba that Baytul Maqdis, Jerusalem, was officially open. And so when he received word, they said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, we need you to come to us now. It's time for you to come. So he went to his servant, he gathered his things, and they took the ba'ir, the camel, and they went. The arrangement that Umar made with his servant was that Umar would ride the camel once and his servant would walk, and then they would switch up. Once the servant would ride and Umar would walk. And they would do that back and forth until they would arrive to Baytul Maqdis. When they arrived, it happened that the servant was the one who was riding the camel. And Umar radiallahu anhu was actually the one dragging the camel, or holding onto the camel. From a distance, Abu Ubaidah, one of the Sahaba, saw this, and he started to get a little bit nervous. He said to himself, what are people going to think? This is Amir al-Mu'mineen, our Khalifa, the Khalifa of the Muslim Ummah. He is the most powerful person we have in the world. And he's walking while his servant rides. So Abu Ubaidah felt nervous. What made it even worse was as they were coming, there was a ditch of water that was full of mud and water, muddied water. And Umar stepped into it. And so his garment was full of mud. This is Amir al-Mu'mineen. This is arguably the most powerful man in the world. His garment is muddy, his shoes are muddy, and he's walking while his servant rides. The entire image doesn't make sense. And Abu Ubaidah gets nervous. And he says, I have to go say something to him. So he runs to Umar radiallahu anhu. He says, Ya Umar, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, please get on the camel. Please, I beg you. And Umar looks at him and he says, Ya Abu Ubaidah, I wish, laytaka qalaha ghayruk. I wish that someone else said this other than you. I wish that anyone other than you would have said something like this. It's not befitting, Ya Abu Ubaidah, for you to say something like this. And then Umar says, Ya Abu Ubaidah, kunna adhilla, fa'azzana Allahu bil-Islam. Ya Abu Ubaidah, we were low and weak people. We were nothing. فَأَعَزَّنَا اللَّهُ بِالْإِسْلَامِ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made us honorable, revered people with Islam. And then he says, Ya Abu Ubaidah, فَمَنِ ابْتَغَى الْعِزَّةَ فِي غَيْرِ الْإِسْلَامِ لَأَذَلَّهُ اللَّهُ. He says, Ya Abu Ubaidah, whomsoever seeks izzah, whoever seeks honor and respect in other than Islam, Allah Azza wa Jal will make him dhaleel. Allah Azza wa Jal will make him low and weak and nothing. What did Umar radiallahu anhu understand that we tend to forget? When we live in this society, in any society for that matter, but we live and we're constantly saying, yeah, I'm proud to be a Muslim, but I'm scared. I'm worried. Because what Umar was telling Abu Ubaidah, who cares what people think? Who cares what the people of Jerusalem think? I don't care. I made an agreement with my servant. And it happened that he was riding. Khalas, akhir kalam. That is what's going to be. He is riding and I am walking. And I am a man of my principles and my values, and I do not forego it for anyone. I was a low person and Allah made me high with Islam. And I will not give that up for anyone. So when we say we're proud to be Muslims, and we're proud that we are Muslims and American Muslims, but we're constantly scared, we're constantly worried. What do people think? What are people saying? And we're crouching and we're worried and we're concerned. When we're in the mall and it's time to pray, we start getting nervous. I have to pray, but people are going to see me. I don't know what to do. I get nervous. I get scared. Why does that happen? What is that? What is it about our understanding of Islam that makes us hesitant about what we have? Why are we not like Umar radiallahu anhu? The answer is very simple. The answer is one word. It is dhul. It is when we allow ourselves to become adhillah, to become weak, There's no way for us to become a'izza. There is no way for us to become honorable, self-respected, confident people. The scholars say there are three things that make a person dhaleel, that make a person weak and lowly. Number one, the person who is dhaleel lish-shaytan. The person who is subservient to the shaitan. When the shaitan says, go left, I go left. When the shaitan says, go right, I go right. What did the shaitan say when he asked Allah Azza wa Jalla, Ya Allah, dharni ila yawmi yub'athun, keep me until the day they are resurrected. Allah said, okay, I'll keep you, stay, go. And then he says, لَأَحْتَنِكَنَّ ذُرِّيَّتَهُ. He points at Adam, he says, I will لَأَحْتَنِكَنَّ ذُرِّيَّتَهُ. What does that mean? لَأَحْتَنِكَنَّ means if you have an animal and you want to control them, you put a piece of metal in their mouth and then you tie a rope to it, right? And you drag the animal so you can control it. So what Shaitan says is that that's exactly what I'm going to do to the offspring of Adam. That's how I'm going to control them. I'm going to drag them right, they're going to go right. I'm going to drag them left, they're going to go left. So we have to ask ourselves, how many of us does the Shaitan dictate which way they're going to go? When the Shaitan says, do this ma'asiyah, go, run. Go smoke something on some street, or go do this, and it's fine, go, it's nice. Blacks, we like doing it, we enjoy to do it. So Shaitan forgets about us. I've already dragged them enough, they're lost. How many of us are like that? How many of us are like Umar radiallahu anh, that if Umar were to go down a street, the Shaitan would run down another street because he was too scared of the izzah of Umar radiallahu anh. He was too scared for what Umar had in him. He was terrified of Umar. So he would never walk in the same street as Umar. The second thing the scholars say is when we become dhaleel lil-nafs, lil-hawa. When we become subservient to our hawa. The Quran says in astonishment, أَفَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَاهُ. Have you seen the person who takes as his Lord his hawa, his nafs, his base desires? Have you seen those people? So how many of us, we think that when we get angry and we smack our wife, for example, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, or we hit our wives, how many of us think that we are strong men? Just because we are able to overpower someone else. How many of us think that we're strong men when we do that? By the way, the person who does that is the weakest of people. The weakest of people, because that person is dhaleel to his hawa. When he allows his anger to overtake him, he's submissive to his hawa. His desire is what guides him. When you're watching TV and something inappropriate comes on and you watch it and you don't change the channel, or you don't turn off the TV, or you don't walk away, then we are dhaleel. We are low and we are subservient to our base desires. The last and final thing that the ulama say creates dhul, creates lowliness and weakness, is when we turn away from Allah Azza wa Jalla. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says unequivocally, He says absolutely in the Quran, فَمَنْ كَانَ يُرِيدُ الْعِزَّةِ فَلِلَّهِ الْعِزَّةُ جَمِيعًا. Whomsoever desires izzah, whomsoever desires honor and respect, all of that is lillahi jami'a. All of izzah is lillahi jami'a. And it's with no one else. No one in society, no entity in society, no people, no one has izzah except Allah Azza wa Jalla. And that's why the Quran says, أَيَبْتَغُونَ عِنْدَهُمُ الْعِزَّةِ فَلِلَّهِ الْعِزَّةُ جَمِيعًا. You go to Quraysh and you seek izzah, لِلَّهِ الْعِزَّةُ جَمِيعًا. Know for a fact that all of izzah is lillahi jami'a and no one else. Why do I say this? I say this because we constantly feel like we need to be looking over our backs. We're Muslims, the eye is on us, we have to be careful, people don't like us. Okay, I have to make sure that I look, sound, and feel like everyone else so that no one looks at me a weird way. The confusing thing about this, or the ironic thing about this, is that we do live in a society that protects your right to look quote-unquote weird. You are still protected in this society. The Constitution protects your rights to look quote unquote weird. Or to have verses in the Quran that people think, you guys have that in your Quran? I'm not sure. No, we don't. No, we don't believe in that part of the Quran. No, the Quran is a way to explain it. So, or this hadith, no, that hadith is da'if, it's weak. We don't believe in it. We get scared. From who? From what? When Allah Azza wa Jal has given us Islam, who are we afraid of? What I'm saying is, don't be arrogant. I'm not saying that we should be arrogant people, that we should reject people, that we should be belligerent. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we must have izzah. And having izzah means what the Prophet ﷺ did. It is living prophetically. It is living like the Prophet lived. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We have not sent you but as a mercy to mankind. وَمَا بُعِثْتُ إِلَّا لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ. I have not been sent except to perfect the best of character. That's who the Prophet ﷺ. So when you're in society, you're helping your neighbors, you're loving your neighbors, you're caring about. When you're in the supermarket and someone can bring someone down, you carry it for them, Muslim or non-Muslim. You care about everyone around you. You want hidayah for others around us. So there's a huge difference when you're in society and you're being loving and respectful to others from a position of izzah than being loving and respectful to others because you're scared and you want them to like you. Two different things. Do it from a position of izzah and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will raise you high. Man tawada'a lillah rafa'ah. Whomsoever humbles himself to Allah, Allah will raise them high. So I want us, inshallah, and I'm sorry for taking a little bit too much time, but I want us to genuinely consider some serious questions about when we say we are proud to be Muslim, what that means. And we want to think about Umar radiallahu anhu and the izzah that he portrayed in his entire life, and how he went to Jerusalem. He was too aziz to even care what people thought, because he knew that izzah came from who? Al-Mu'izz. Al-Mu'izz is the only one who can give us izzah. And read the story of Umar when he went into Jerusalem. And when the relationship that he had with the patriarchs. And when the patriarchs would tell him, go pray in the church of the Holy Sepulchre, Umar said, no, I'm not going to pray in that church. Why? Because if people knew that I'll pray in there, then the people after me will come and say, this is where Umar prayed, we want to pray here. Umar had respect for the church in Jerusalem. He had respect for it, but he did it out of izzah. He didn't do it out of weakness. He wasn't looking for anyone's approval. He was only looking for Allah Azza wa Jall's approval. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us a'izzah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us a'izzah. We only go to al-mu'izz for izzah. And we seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from dhul. We seek refuge in Allah from weakness. We seek refuge in Allah from seeking the pleasure of anyone else but Him. وأقول قولي هذا وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد.